Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again with another car finance related tutorial for you. Couple of things before we dive into this particular example. Firstly, thank you to everyone who has joined the Facebook group, and today's video idea, funny enough, came from a suggestion on there, so thanks very much for that. And secondly, I've got a new email address which you can see up here somewhere. The old one will still work, obviously, but I've set this one up as well. It's just carfinancetutorials@outlook.com, so do continue to email me there. Any kind of friendly help you'd like on something. Remember, I can't give advice, but I can give you my friendly opinion. I'm always happy to take a look. And also, please email me there for details of how you can obtain the latest spreadsheet, which we are now on version 4.5 of. Okay, so today's video, what I wanted to do is, let's imagine you buy a car on PCP, and then let's say you do it over 3 years, and then at the end of the 3 years you decide you want to keep it. You don't want to hand it back, you don't want to part exchange it, but somehow you need to refinance that guaranteed future value, that balloon payment. What I want to do is compare a straight 5-year HP versus, say, a 3-year PCP followed by a 2-year, let's say, a personal loan to pay off that guaranteed future value, and let's just see which one works out the cheapest. I think we'll be quite surprised, actually, because if we can get a very, very low rate on the personal loan for the remaining years 4 and 5 of the PCP side of things, it might come out even a little bit cheaper than doing it on the 5-year PCP. Sorry, 5-year HP. So all I did, again, no affiliation with anybody, I just did a search. I've just nipped onto the Motorpoint website and I found a Range Rover Velar. Nice looking car. Don't know really anything about Range Rovers, but it looks nice. I think this is the one with the kind of the secret door handles. So let's have a look at how much, first of all, using the figures quoted. So let's assume that we don't haggle and we don't get a different rate or any kind of discount. Let's see what it would cost on a 3-year PCP. So what we're going to do is we will use a 3-year PCP and we'll do it on 12,000 miles a year. Now look here, if you just note the term from on Motorpoint for a PCP is always term +1, if you like. So they are quoting for a 3-year agreement, they are actually quoting 37 months. Okay, so that's 36 equal payments. Month 37 is where your balloon payment or your final value lies. The previous examples I've been talking about from, say, BMW and Audi and Mercedes, etc., tend to use 30. In this case, they would use 36 months. So 35 equal payments, month 36 where the guaranteed future value is. So just bear that in mind again when you're comparing. So they are saying deposit of 10% roughly, 3,300. It's got a total cash price of 33,098. 36 equal payments of, let's calculate it, they are saying 620.63 with an optional final payment of 13,938. So let's just whack those figures into the spreadsheet, see how the spreadsheet compares. So cash price is 33,098, deposit 3,000. Dealer deposit contribution, nothing. Guaranteed future value is 3938. Starting month we'll say is this month, so that's July 2020. And the quoted APR is 9.9. Okay, so let's put that in. And it's now just remember, if a couple of people have emailed me about this, if you put the wrong kind of, the incorrect number of months in there, you will get the wrong value. So this box on the spreadsheet is the number of equal months. As I put there, enter equal payments, not the total number of months on the agreement. So in this case, look, even though it's 37 months, it's 36 equal payments. So we're going to put 36 in there. Gives us 630. I've done something wrong here. 33,098. Oh, look, I've got the deposit wrong. I put 3,000. It's actually 3,300. There we go, look. So spreadsheet is saying 620.71. They've got 620.63. So that's good. Right, so I've just done this little kind of comparison table here to compare the two methods. So currently the PCP, once we've got to where the final value lies, is going to cost us 36. It's going to cost us 36 multiplied by 620.63 plus our deposit of 3,300. So that's completely wrong, isn't it? So currently, up to month 36, so the 36 payments, this Range Rover in this example will have cost us £25,642.68. Okay, but then we need to finance again this balloon payment. So let's say we get a really good rate. So I've just nipped over to Tesco. Look again, totally chosen at random, and we're going to borrow 13,938 for 2 years. Okay, so the total amount of borrowing for the loan and the PCP is 5 years. They are quoting 2.9%. Now I'm assuming that we can get that rate, but that's the headline rate. Representative rate only needs to be offered to 51% of applications. So your own personal circumstances might dictate that you don't get that rate, but for this example I'm assuming that we can. Going to the old spreadsheet again then. So we want to borrow 13,938, no deposit obviously, no guaranteed future value, and a quoted APR of 2.9 over 24 months gives us a monthly payment of 598.22. So we'll put that in here. So 598.22, and we've got 24 of those. So the total cost is deposit plus PCP monthlies plus this times 24 gives us 39,999.96 to own that car. Okay, and it had a purchase price of 33,098. So let's see how that would compare if originally we had have bought that same car, same deposit, using 5-year HP, using the rate that's offered by the dealer to begin with. Then we'll have a look at it on a straight loan. So instead of the PCP route, look, we're going to go down the HP route over 60 months, 5 years, with the same 3,300 deposit, 9.9% APR. It's coming out at 625.48 and a final payment of 635.48 because there is a £10 option to purchase fee. So let's put that in here. So our monthly is 625.48 for 60 months. And what we'll do at the end, look, to be fair, we'll just add on the £10 as well. So interesting. And I say that with no pun intended. But when I tried this off camera, I was quite surprised at that, because what you have to remember with a PCP, if you are a PCP really, as you know, is designed to run it for the full term, apart from if you're like me and you want to give it back earlier, but you run it for the full term and then you part exchange it, or you sell it, or you give it back and then you start again. So a PCP is not really designed if you know you're going to own that car. The reason for that is because if you do it this way, you're going to pay interest twice on the balloon payment, because throughout the 3-year PCP you are paying interest on that balloon payment, whether you pay it off or not. It's still part of the total credit agreement. Then when you get to the end, you then borrow that money on using a personal loan like we did here, and you pay interest again. So even though we've paid interest effectively twice, because the personal loan rate is so low at 2.9%, the total cost over 5 years to own that car outright is still what? That minus that, still £838 cheaper to do it on the PCP. But that is because we have accepted the quoted 9.9% rate on the APR, as we have on the PCP. So it's horses for courses. But let's just see, out of curiosity, if we could get finance at a lower rate. Now, I don't think Tesco would let us borrow £32,000 over any amount of time, I don't think. No, they'll only let us borrow 25,000. So, would you be able to get 3%, 2.9% on £33,000? Don't know. Maybe. I don't think you could from going down most personal loan routes. They tend to have a cap. I suppose you could remortgage or something like that. But let's assume we could. Let's for a bit of fun, let's just assume that we could borrow that kind of money at 2.9%. So we're going to borrow 30. We're going to borrow 30. What we're going to borrow? We're going to borrow 33,098, but we're not. We're going to borrow 30,098 because remember we've got to put £3,000 deposit in anyway. So deposit of 3,300, wasn't it? So we're basically getting a loan of 29,798, no guaranteed future value, and a quoted APR of 2.9 over 60 months. £533.61. Total amount, look, 35,316. So it's much cheaper, obviously, because we've got a much lower rate. Let's be fair about it, and let's kind of take the average rate between the PCP of 9.9 and the personal loan of 2.9. So what's that? About 5.9, 6.9, something like that. What is it? An average of 13. It's about 6.5. So let's say we can get 6.5% to be fair. 580 a month, 38,126. 38,126. So if you knew you were going to want to buy this car at the outset, you'd be better off HPing it, providing you can get a rate of about 7% or less. But in this case, if we assumed we got the dealer's quoted APR of 9.9, there's not a huge amount in it, but if we could then top the final value balloon payment up and pay it off with a loan based on 2.9, it is actually still slightly cheaper, funnily enough, to go down a PCP plus a 2-year loan route, if you see what I mean. Hope that was reasonably interesting for a Friday early evening. As I said, do continue to comment and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.